JBN, we keep you informed. 2 women shot dead within 4 hours in Reema. 2 women were shot dead in separate incidents in Reema, in the Kingston Western Police Division within 4 hours between Saturday night and Sunday morning. The police suspect that the second killing was likely a reprisal for the first attack, and reports on the ground are pointing to a turf war behind the deadly violence in the community. Further reports on the ground indicated that a male was also shot and injured in one of the attacks. The Constabulary Communication Unit, CCU, the information arm of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, has confirmed the killings. We have no details yet, as police personnel are still investigating, and we have not established the identities of the females. However, we can confirm that the police believe the second killing to have been a reprisal for the first, a representative of the CCU said. On the ground, the deceased women have been identified only as Dimples and Shauna. The first murder occurred at about 10:30 p.m. and the second at about 2:40 a.m. 3 men lose lives in fiery motorcycle crash in Hanover. A head-on collision of 2 motorcycles on the Green Island Main Road in Hanover on Friday night claimed the lives of 3 men. Dead are Dane Weatherburn and his pillion Reggie Perkins. It is reported that the bodies of both men were subsequently burnt, as upon collision, the motorcycle they were driving exploded into flames. A third man, Troy Myrie, who was driving the other bike, also lost his life in the incident. He was flung from his motorcycle. Police reports are that at about 9:40 p.m., the Suzuki motorcycle, which burst into flames, was traveling from the direction of Lucy towards the town of Green Island. The collision occurred near a bridge in the town. The motorcycle driven by Mary was traveling in the opposite direction. Weatherburn and Mary died on the spot, the police said, while Perkins succumbed to his injuries at the Noel Holmes Hospital. Councillor for the Green Island Division, Marvel Sewell, extended his condolences to the families of the 3 men. He said that the poorly lit roadway could have contributed to the incident. The lighting issue had come up in the last sitting of the Hanover Municipal Corporation's monthly general meeting 2 weeks ago. Then Jamaica Public Service Operations Area Manager for St. James, Hanover and Westmoreland promised to examine the issue. Ganja valued at Jamaican $10.5 million seized, 3 Bahamians nabbed. The security forces scored a major victory in their fight against drug dealers on Thursday when they seized 2,620 pounds of ganja, valued at approximately Jamaican $10.5 million. The weed was confiscated in an area at Lances Bay, Hanover, in which 3 Bahamian nationals were arrested. According to Deputy Superintendent of Police Jeffrey Leckie, the officer in charge of narcotics in Area 1, the contraband was found during an operation that lasted more than 6 hours and featured military and police personnel. During the marathon operation, which was conducted between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., members of the Jamaica Constabulary Forces, JCF Narcotics Division, and the Jamaica Defense Force seized approximately 2,600 pounds of compressed ganja, which was found at premises in Lances Bay, Hanover, said Leckie. The operation was extended to Negril, Westmoreland, where 3 male Bahamian nationals who entered the island illegally were arrested at a property in West End. In keeping with the government's health and safety COVID-19 protocol, the 3 Bahamians were placed in quarantine to determine their health status. They will be interviewed in the presence of their attorneys in due course, said Leckie, who noted that the police are quite concerned about the frequency of drug seizures in Western Jamaica as it relates to foreign nationals who have entered the island illegally. According to Leckie, over the past weekend, a Haitian national was arrested during another major operation in which more than 15,000 pounds of ganja was seized in Trelawney. This frequency indicates elevated risk posed to the country by criminals who are illegally harboring their counterparts from abroad who could infect citizens with COVID-19, said the senior policeman. While investigations in these incidents are ongoing, the police are appealing to citizens to report any activities relating to the handling of dangerous drugs and the presence of any foreign nationals who are suspected to be in the island illegally, added Leckie. despite the arrest, and in some cases the extradition of top-flight drug dealers from Western Jamaica. The region remains a hotbed of drug smuggling between Jamaican criminals and their counterparts in Central and South America. Gangsters from the region have also been linked with the guns for drugs trade involving Haitians. Senate approves extension of SOEs in Kingston Western and the Central Police Divisions. The Senate on Friday approved the extension of the states of public emergency SOEs in the Kingston Western and the Kingston Central Police Divisions until July 25. The SOEs, which were declared by Prime Minister Andrew Holness on June 14, in response to increased criminal activities in both divisions, were instituted for an initial 14 days and were scheduled to be terminated on June 29. Leader of Government Business in the Upper House, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, who piloted the Emergency Powers No. 2 Continuance Resolution 2020, seeking the SOE extensions, noted that the administration views the move as an important part of efforts to save lives and protect the residents of communities who are most at risk. She argued that the SOE declaration in the Kingston Western and Kingston Central Police Divisions has facilitated wider operational control by linking those in the Kingston East and the St. Andrew South Police Divisions to create one continuous geographical space. The resolution was approved in the lower house on Tuesday, June 23. 6 convicted for proceeds of crime. The Financial Investigations Division, FID, is reporting that proceeds of crime in excess of US $20,000 and an assortment of currencies amounting to over 1.2 million Jamaican dollars have been removed from circulation in separate cases through its use of the Proceeds of Crime Act, POCA. The first matter concerns a joint investigation involving the FID, Hanover Police, and United States Postal Inspection Services, which culminated in an alleged scamming victim receiving partial restitution of monies filched from her. The division said the investigation commenced following reports that a 40-year-old male resident of a Hanover address that received over US $71,000 via a wire transfer from a female United States citizen. The funds were allegedly to be invested in a business venture in Jamaica. The funds were, however, converted to the personal use of the recipient, resulting in detectives from the FID arresting and charging him for breaches of POCA under the Larceny Act. Chief Technical Director for the FID, Selvin Hay, says the joint investigation with the United States Postal Inspection Services confirms the outstanding and the deep-rooted relationship FID shares with our U.S. counterparts in the fight against transnational crimes, including all forms of scamming. He added that recovering the proceeds of crime through whatever lawful means is always a win in the fight against money laundering and other financial crimes. Hayes said this was a busy week for the FID, culminating with several forfeiture orders being granted by local courts on June 18 and June 25 respectively, in respect of cash seized under the POCA. On June 18, the Westmoreland Parish Court ordered the forfeiture of cash in the amount of Jamaican $163,750. Police seized the cash and ganja, weighing 1,034 pounds, from a Westmoreland businessman, Audley Gale. The cash was seized by the police under the POCA on the suspicion that it was derived from unlawful conduct. It was then forfeited following his guilty plea to several breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act in December 2018. Likewise, on June 25, the Corporate Area Parish Court ordered the forfeiture of cash seized from Shervington Lovell, Stephen Antonius, and Ricardo Ramirez in the amounts of US $5,300, Guyanese $24,600, and Surinamese $435 respectively. The cash was seized on October 25, 2018, when a police party from the Fugitive Apprehension Team conducted special operations at the Norman Manley International Airport pursuant to a request from the United States government and an arrest warrant pursuant to the Extradition Act of 1991. Lovell, Antonius, and Ramirez, Guyanese, Surinamese, and Colombian nationals respectively, were located and arrested and their persons and properties searched. During the search, the cash was found and seized by the police under the poker on the suspicion that it had been derived from unlawful conduct. All three men indicated that the cash was obtained from legitimate businesses, to include gold mining and a car wash, but neither of them was able to verify the existence of the said businesses. FID investigated and found that none of the alleged businesses existed and that none of the men were found to possess a license for the operation of a gold mining business. The men have since been extradited to the United States. On June 25, the Corporate Area Parish Court also ordered the forfeiture of cash in the amount of Jamaican $148,000. The cash was seized from Everoy Row on October 4, 2016 during an intelligence-driven operation. Rowe was stopped on Laws Street in the vicinity of the Pernell Charles Arcade, downtown Kingston, and later transported to the Kingston Central Criminal Investigations Branch office, where the car he was driving was searched, and a quantity of Western Union receipts in the names of several Jamaican recipients found. Rowe was unable to satisfactorily account for the seized cash. The cash was therefore seized pursuant to the poker, as it was reasonably believed that the cash was recovered property or was intended for use in unlawful conduct. In all three applications for forfeiture of seized cash, the FID said the courts found that there was sufficient evidence to conclude that the cash seized was derived from unlawful sources or was intended to be used for unlawful conduct. The forfeiture applications were made pursuant to Section 79 of the Proceeds of Crime Act, which permits the parish court to order the forfeiture of cash if satisfied that the cash is either recovered property or is intended to be used by any person in unlawful conduct. Hayes said this provision properly allows the FID to properly accomplish a key goal of taking the profit out of crime. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.